Her best friend's boyfriend stabbed her 8 times. Her best friend locked the door tightly and watched her die without saving her. Now, Nina was lying in the hospital. Chloe not only pushed her mother to the ground, but also twisted the truth in front of the doctor, saying that Nina and her mother had plotted against her together and that she had acted in self-defense. Fortunately, heaven gave Nina a second chance. She was reborn. This time, Nina wanted to watch with her own eyes as her best friend reaped what she sowed. In her previous life, Chloe excitedly told her that Chad was going to confess his feelings to her. She had tried hard to persuade her best friend Chloe to stay away from Chad, a thug with dyed white hair and a violent temper. But Chloe not only refused to listen, she accused her of being jealous. Now, Nina didn't warn her. Instead, she smiled and gave her blessings. Chloe was deeply moved and believed that Chad was her soulmate. Watching Chloe walk away with her arm around Chad, she sneered. Sure enough, the drama soon arrived. Chloe made a basic mistake at work. She missed a zero in the project budget, causing the company to lose over $1 million. She cried and begged Nina to take the blame for her, just like in her previous life. But this time, Nina directly refused. In her previous life, she had taken the fall for Chloe, was ostracized by her coworkers, and Chloe stepped over her to get ahead. In this life, she would not be the scapegoat again. When Chloe tried to frame her, she directly played the recording in front of everyone. Chloe was fired and faced $1 million compensation. Chloe got a call from her family demanding money, then came to Nina, crying about her hardship. Nina didn't give her a single cent. Desperate, Chloe went to Chad for help, but when she pushed the door open, she walked in on Chad being intimate with another woman. Chad not only didn't apologize, but beat her badly and left a harsh warning. Break up? I'm not done having fun yet. If you dare leave me, I'll kill you. Chloe fled to Nina's house overnight, crying hysterically. She quickly urged Chloe to go back and make up with him, but Chloe refused. Just then, a sudden knock at the door startled them. Nina's heart sank. Had the day she was killed in her previous life come early? Nina thought it was the scumbag, but the voice outside belonged to Chloe's family, who had come to demand money. Chloe blocked her from opening the door. She directly exposed that Chloe had a rich boyfriend. Nina shook Chloe off and opened the door, but standing there was Chad, staring at her with a sinister smile. For the sake of money, Chloe's family handed Chloe over to Chad. He beat her black and blue. She came running to Nina begging for help, but Nina had already seen through everything. Chloe wasn't there to ask for help. She was there to sell Nina out. Chad had set his sights on Nina, so Chloe volunteered a plan. She would help Chad get Nina in exchange for her own freedom. She invited Nina to a bar, drugged her drink, and planned to send Nina to the scumbag's bed. At the bar, Nina and Chloe raised their glasses and drank. Chloe watched smugly as Nina passed out, but the next second, Chloe collapsed too. It turned out, Nina had been prepared. She had secretly switched the glasses when Chloe wasn't paying attention. Nina pretended to leave. Several thugs surrounded Chloe. While Chloe was barely conscious, they took her away. The next day, Chloe showed up looking miserable and confronted Nina. Nina played dumb and even said that Chloe had abandoned her. Using what happened the night before, Chloe cried and begged Nina to go back to Chad's house with her to testify. Nina refused. Chloe shamelessly refused to leave Nina's house. Nina turned and walked out, but she wasn't ignoring the situation. Instead, she called Chad. Chloe is at my house. She says she's going to expose you. Those words ignited Chad's rage. The last woman who tried to expose him was still buried in his backyard. Chloe found there was no food in Nina's house and dug out some cash from Nina's box. What she didn't know was that Nina had installed cameras in the house and was watching Chloe's every move. Just as Nina came back from shopping, Chad appeared. He grabbed Chloe by the hair and pressed a knife to her neck. Chloe was terrified out of her mind. She desperately explained that Nina was stirring up trouble, but Chad didn't believe her at all. There was only murder in his eyes. Nina stared at the surveillance footage on her computer screen, feeling an overwhelming sense of satisfaction. The debt for those 8 stabs from her previous life was finally about to be paid. Just as the knife was about to fall, Chloe suddenly shouted, "I'm pregnant!" Chad's knife stopped in midair.